I'm Yvette Rios for thelatinkitchen.com, and today I want to share with you a really simple appetizer idea using canned soup, but kicking it up a notch. I'm going to make little bread bowls filled with tomato soup and topped with Parmesan cheese. They're delicious. You're going to need 2 cans of Campbell's tomato soup, a lemon, basil, Parmesan cheese, you can get it grated or ungrated and grate it yourself, diced tomatoes, sourdough rolls, milk, and salt and pepper. I'm using plain tomato soup, and this is going to be our base because we're going to add lots of flavor to it and just make it even more delicious than it comes right out of the can. So I'm just going to pour this into my pot that I have on the stove. What I like to do is, there's lots of soup still left in the can, so rather than use another container to put your milk in or your water, just pour it right into the can, and that's going to get out all the rest of that soup. And then you can even use a little spoon, mix it all in there so you get every little bit. Because why waste it? You shouldn't be wasting it. And I'm going to pour that right into my soup. The trick to this soup is you really don't ever want to let it boil. You want it to simmer, because that way you don't get any clumps in it, because you want it to be nice and smooth. And now I'm going to do the same thing to my second can. I'm going to go ahead and put milk in my second can to get all that soup out of there. And if you didn't want to use whole milk, you could always use, a milk substitute. The problem is a lot of them have a lot of sugar in it, so it's going to make the soup a little sweeter. So you just want to pay attention to what kind of milk you're using. What I like to do is add a little bit of acid. It's going to brighten up the soup a little bit, so I'm just going to use half a lemon. And you're just going to squeeze this in carefully and then just make sure to mix it in there. So at this point I might just put a little salt and pepper, just give it a little taste and make sure that the salt and pepper is just fine. I like using fresh ground pepper and salt. Over the lifetime of your salt and pepper, you're actually going to be spending a lot less money if you buy, peppercorns and salt and actually crush it yourself. Perfect. So I'm just going to keep that simmering. Again, you don't want the soup to boil. You just want to let it simmer, and I'm going to cut up some basil over here. So I'm using about 2 tablespoons of basil, and I'm just going to cut it into thin little slices like this. And this you're just going to put right into your soup. And again, you want to put this right at the end when you know that the soup is cooked down enough. And to this, I'm going to add diced tomatoes. I love things nice and chunky, and I love the flavor of diced tomatoes. I am using about 10 ounces of diced tomatoes, so about half of the big can of them. And you just want to put these in little by little, again, so that you don't get clumping in the soup. And now I'm going to get my bread bowls ready. And for my rolls, I'm actually using a sourdough roll because I love the sourdough flavor with the tomato soup. So this is super easy. Just take a knife and you're going to kind of hold it at a 45-degree angle, and you're going to cut down into the bread like this. And you're just going to take out the top of it to make like a little cavern for the soup to go in. And then what you want to do is kind of push around to make the walls nice and strong. And you're going to put your soup in here, and then you add a little Parmesan cheese and toast it in the oven, and they turn out amazing. So there you go, there's one cranny done. So now I'm going to grab my ladle, and I'm just going to put soup into each bowl. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to top these with my Parmesan cheese. And the Parmesan cheese is going to make a nice crust on top. And once you take them out of the oven, they'll be nice and golden brown and delicious like this, and the cheese will be melted on top. And the best part about serving soup in a bread bowl is that the bread bowl absorbs all the soup, so the bowl itself is delicious. These are so super easy, and I hope you enjoy. I'm Yvette Rios for thelatinkitchen.com, and until next time, buen provecho.